We are super happy to bring you guys some fresh, new, beautiful content today on this stream. We've prepared a special topic for you guys. We got, a lot of people are trying to shame men just for anything that they do in the world of dating, but don't worry, we're going to embrace this bullshit. We're going to toughen you up. We're going to let you know that you should never, ever be shamed for your preferences. And am I right, motherfucker?
Man, yes. Man, we are being fucking shamed, criticized our preferences, so we can do what's best for the women. So fuck it, we're gonna fuck all that shit. We're gonna still take control of our lives and reach the fucking top.
Ever be shamed for your preferences.
So fuck if everyone wants to make us weak. We're still gonna prevail and fucking make it to the fucking top so we can win.
Big fucking facts, homie. So let's just jump right into it, right? I started off this conversation with Dantes earlier today, saying that that right now we're really experiencing seeing the most attractive, beautiful older women that we've ever seen in our fucking lifetime. With the advent of the internet, what is happening is that these old bitches are not going down without a fight. They see all the younger girls that are coming up in the game. They see how beautiful and how pretty all these girls are. Actually, you know what? Let me kind of actually give you this story, man. When I was in high school, the bitches was not that pretty. When Instagram came out, all of a sudden, bitches started getting very pretty, right? Because women are very, very, very competitive when it comes to beauty. Beauty is their purpose. Beauty is their commodity. Beauty is their main agency. Beauty is the only thing that they give a fuck about. If you were a girl, you live a life through a lens by which you only see the world by how beautiful the world will interpret you. You only care about your makeup. You will spend thousands and thousands of dollars throughout your lifetime as a female getting more beautiful and more beautiful and more beautiful because your main agency is your physical beauty. Even if them dark, nasty bitches is ugly on the inside, they will spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on their titties, on their ass. All right, so check this out, right? When women started catching on to the fact that they're seeing that they're going to be needing to compete or that they can compete, the first thing that they did was start competing. So, back in the day, even 10, 20, 30 years ago, when a woman was entering, her 40s or her 50s and her 60s, 50s and 60s was like a straight up grandma, right? But these days, you've got women that are in their 50s and 60s that are models. You got them, and rightfully so. These women are fucking attractive objectively, right? I mean, do you know actress Sofia Vergara, bro? She's like 50 years old. This woman looks like she's 20, 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? She's just objectively, eye-catchingly beautiful. But what's happening out here with my bros, with my guys, with my dogs, is that even though these women are beautiful, and you can have multiple women, and you can hit, quit, you can beat, skeet, retreat, you can smash and dash, you could inseminate the nation and have an evacuation. You could do all these things. But the type of attention that you give the woman really does truly matter, right? See, if you are unequally paired off in age as a man, this is going to damage you. It's going to damage your legacy. It's going to damage your life. If you are a younger gentleman in your 20s and your 30s, and you're dating one of these girls in your 40s and your 50s, which is happening, it's on the rise. It's happening more often than you think. Remember the last video that we did where 45% of women by the year 2030 will be single and childless, right? And it's now increasing to 50%, half. What's happening is that men are being unequally paired off, and I think we should probably kind of start this topic off maybe with the MILF. Dantes, I'll let you take that, like the MILF, and like how powerful that used to make men feel, but like what it is really.
Yeah, growing up as a kid, everyone was talking about, at least where I was at, in most areas, people were talking about a MILF. I want a MILF. I want a older mom who's just hot. That was like the thing, and it's like we were all being psyoped into thinking that was like the highest of value of woman is an older girl who has a kid, which means that she's been fucked by another guy and she's had his offspring, and for some reason we want that. Like, where does that even come from? Like, it makes no sense. That's like wanting a salvage car title or a salvage car. Like, For you guys that don't know what a salvage car is, it's just a car that's been in an accident that's pretty much been deemed a total loss and it's been put back together. In other words, it's been in a fucked up situation. So your girl the MILF has went through a pregnancy, which is salvaged her, in my eyes. And for some reason, younger guys, we were all running around saying, I want a MILF, I want a MILF. And that is like the lowest of value of women is a MILF. There's a hoe. That's the lowest value. A girl who's just a hoe. Because you could be a MILF and be married for 25 plus years with one guy, only fucked with one guy, and you're just a MILF. So it goes a hoe. That's the lowest of value of women, just hoes. And then above that is a single mom. There's under no circumstance you should be taking a single mom serious. But it just comes to show that society wants you to think so much and wants you to fall into the feminine imperative, the feminine frame so bad that they psyoped all of us into thinking that a MILF was like the best thing ever. Like, it's like women thinking that an 18-year-old boy or man is like the highest of value of people or of men. It just doesn't make any sense. But we were all told to believe that MILFs are the best thing ever, and that's because society wants to just save women from all their bad decisions. They don't have any consequences. So it's not on us to sit and complain about it, but we have to talk about it so we're fucking aware of it, so you don't fall into that shit of next thing you know you're taking care of a single mom because you were told that you wanted a car with high mileage that's old as fuck, that's been used and abused, and you've been told that's the best thing, but in reality you were just tricked so you can just save a woman from her bad decisions.
So I'm gonna further elaborate on this because I have some real stories and real examples in real life of how this could really, really damage you and really, really hurt you and really, really fuck you up, right? Now, the actual act of, like, you know, smashing a MILF, smashing Nash, that's great, that's cool. We're not saying don't show them love. We're not saying don't hit it and quit it. But we are saying if you are going to give your time to something like that, you need to be very, very clear on what type of attention you're giving the woman, what type of relationship attention that you're giving the woman, right? Now, check this out. Back a little while ago, I had a girlfriend, and we go over to her, like, cousin's house, right? So she has, like, an older male cousin, and the dude at the time, he's, like, 38 years old, objectively a younger male, you know, and he's, like, entering, like, his masculine prime, right? Men are really becoming the man. Like, you enter your masculinity and your ability to provide leadership and have relationships and have wives and have money to take care of your women when you're around 35. So he's about 38 years old at the time. And objectively, that means that he can command a lot of value in the sexual dating marketplace, right? And we are going to break this down all in terms of sexual dating marketplace, right? The sexual dating marketplace is, for the guys that don't really know about that, it's the field by which that you're entering the competitive dating landscape, right? So, like, it's simple. If you're out in the football field, you're competing in the competitive world of sports, right? If you're out in the free market and you're adding value, like we gave you an episode on, you're adding value to the free market, you're bringing in value to capitalism, right? But in the sexual dating marketplace, SMV, right, your sexual market value can change depending on what you bring to the table, right? Like we were saying before, actor Henry Cavill, extremely handsome individual. His sexual market value when he enters the room is very high because all he really has to do based on his height, weight, age, fame, fortune, muscles, notoriety, status, he commands so much value that if he walked into the room, women are going to lose their fucking mind. They're going to lose their shit, and they're going to want his attention so much that they would be happy to take his last name, Cavill. So if fucking Stephanie Beef Patty from down the street got a chance to see Henry Cavill, and she knows that she can change her name to Stephanie Cavill, she will leap at the fucking opportunity, so his sexual market value is high. Okay, so back to the story, right? This guy, he's 38 years old. His sexual market value, if he wasn't really, like, working out and stuff, but if he took the time, he's at the age by which he can have a great sexual market value to most women, because he'd be able, in a traditional sense, in a traditional marriage, in a traditional style, be able to provide a life to any girl who's between the ages of 18 to 24 like it ain't nothing to him, right? Unfortunately, this guy, I come to his house, I didn't really understand the situation. I think that his house that he was living in was his girlfriend's house, and his girlfriend was 50 something years old, blonde girl, big titted, objectively like attractive, you know what I'm saying? But kind of hard in the face. She used to be a cop. And just she had a kid too from a whole different guy up in that cribbo. So, like, we have a bunch of different things effed up with that dynamic. One, he should have been the one for sure providing the house to the woman. But, like, the woman he's providing the house to should have been younger. Because what's happening is, like, now he's in the age where if he's going to give that type of attention, which is very serious attention that he was giving her. Because when I am going to meet this dude, it's a family-based event that this girl's bringing me to. And I had already had a relationship with her cousin, who was female. Very cool. I knew her, and, like, you know, the girls liked me, and the girls wanted me to be around there. So, you know, I didn't mind popping by and, like, letting the girls, like, bring me food and shit, and just having a little cool time for a few hours, right? But he is, like, my very first impression of this guy is he's getting cucked. He's getting cucked so hard by his own doing, because every time he nuts in this bitch, she can't bring him no kids. Every time that he's out with this bitch, it's a little bit embarrassing in the sense that he's not hooking up with her. It's a little bit embarrassing because that's his only girl. And his only girl has a kid, and he's giving all of his real relationship attention to this woman as if like that. It feels like that's his wife. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Even though they're not married, he's giving her the attention of like, this is my wife. And because he's showing his whole family that this is the one that I'm giving my attention to, even though she can't bring me any kids, he's literally saying, fuck my legacy, I'm nobody, I have no self-worth, I have no self-esteem, I can't command the value to go out there and attract younger women. And because I can't attract younger women, I, on the inside, have so much fucking wrong with me that I can't see my worth. And this epidemic is on the motherfucking rise. Tez, I'll let you take it off before I just go ham on this shit, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. And it's like I said before, the government, the propaganda, they want you to fall into the woman's frame. Now it's like, why do they want you to fall into a woman's frame? Why do they want you to put MILFs on a pedestal? Why do they want you to put women on a pedestal in general, and you fall into their frame, follow their lead? It's simple. It's because you're easier to be controlled. When you fall into a woman's frame, when you let the woman lead, when you do whatever the woman wants to do, you're easier to control. Because a man that lets a woman lead is weak. So the government wants you weak so they can control you. The propaganda is meant to make you weak so they can control you. So they do that by putting you under the woman's frame, making the woman the head of the household, making the woman the one that you want to submit to or you want to follow their lead. And that's why that is, because it's good to know this, like, well, why was I told that MILFs are just the most attractive thing ever? Like, where is this coming from? That's what it is, so you can fall into their frame, so it makes you weak. Because men who idolize MILFs and older women are simps. Or they just don't know their value. So that's one thing. And now when it comes to the ages for women, as far as taking them serious and not taking them serious, women from 18 to 24, those are the ones that you can take serious. Take those ones serious. They have less experience. Yeah, they could still be ran through if they went to college or got fucked a lot in high school. They could still be ran through. But 18 to 24 is where you're going to have the highest chances, the highest probability of finding a good girl who hasn't been ran through. Now, from 25 to 30, that's when you start to be a little cautious. Like, okay, why aren't you married? Have you been married before? Like, what's going on? Because a lot of time, if a girl gets to 30 years old and she hasn't been married, that's a red flag, because good girls, they get wifed up quick. You know, all the good girls that I know that I went to school with are married. So, and that's a lot of girls in a lot of parts of the world. If she's genuinely a good girl, some dude would have took her serious. So you got to ask her, if you're dating a girl and she's 30, you got to think in your head, like, why aren't you married already? And I mean, were you in like a really long relationship? Because if she wasn't married and she wasn't in a relationship that was like 5 or 7 years, 10 years, then chances are she was just being perpetually single and constantly just dating guys and just getting fucked and dumped. So if she hasn't been in a long relationship by the time of 30, more than likely that's what's happened. And now if she's 30 and above, no chance of you taking her serious. You should, of course, there's anomalies or there's exceptions to the rule, but again, exceptions don't disprove the rule. 9 out of 10 times, if a girl's over 30, do not take her serious at all.
Yeah, no, don't take her serious at all, man. I'm going to give you guys a whole nother story, right? Now, it might not be as common as it used to be today, but it's still an active rule, right? There's a you don't even have to say it. You don't ask a woman her age, right? Now, why is it you don't ask a woman her age? Why is it rude? It's rude because if you ask a woman her age, you're revealing that her fertility is like off at a certain point, right? So you got to understand, women prioritize youthfulness at the peak of their reality. The reason that makeup is a multi-billion-dollar industry isn't so women can look older. It's so women can look younger, because looking younger makes women look more youthful. Women want to look more youthful all the time. This is what they live for, because they know that men are attracted to women when they're fertile, between the ages of 18 and 24. And that is when you want to take a girl serious, because when you start getting into like 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, you got to kind of rush the idea of when you're going to impregnate her and have kids. So, you know what I mean? You as a guy, you got to understand that if you're dating the serious women, the ones that you're taking seriously, the one that you're going to split your DNA with, you have to pick the right one. And if you end up having a kid, I mean, it's possible to have kids with a woman in her 30s, and that, I mean, I guess that could be fine given the situation if you were like in your 60s. But like, you got to understand, if you yourself were like in your 30s, and then she's in her later 20s, you're going to have to kind of rush the timeline of getting her pregnant. But if you go younger, you're going to be a little bit more comfortable. You have a little bit more time. So like if you are, let's say, in like 36 and you got a girl who's 20, you literally have years to decide if you want to have kids now, right? You could be like, yo, maybe I'll do it when I'm 2 years from now, like when I'm 38 or something, right? So you literally have time to, you know, move into the house together, make sure that you guys like each other, spend time with each other, bond with each other, build a real relationship, build real memories, put pictures on the walls, have stories together, go to each other's families, pick names. And if you do, bro, I even have an example of someone that we even know that just had to break up with a girl because she wanted a family so fucking bad because of her age. She was a little bit older, later in her 20s, and because she wanted girl so much, he had to let her go, which was the right thing to do. A very, very respectful, very noble thing to do was to let her go and say, hey, look, because you want to have kids so much, I'm going to let you go off into the world and do that, right? But now I'm going to go into a whole nother story on how much women value their age being hidden. So I'm working at this place, and then I see a girl that I want to add into my rotation that's very beautiful, right? So, you know, being me, you guys know me, I've always got like some set of chicks that I'm talking to, right? And then I see this another one, I'm like, oh, I'm totally adding her into the group, right? So as I'm getting to know this girl, I learned that we're working in the same location. I learned that she is a model, and she's been modeling for quite some time. In fact, if you were to talk to her and if you were to look at her, you can tell that she's really done real modeling for real. It's like so a part of her personality, right? It's like you could just tell that was the life that she's been living. Been to France, done modeling in France, been in every type of fashion, bro, fashion people are crazy, bro. She knew all the things that you would know in the fashion world, and for me as a dude, I don't know any of that stuff, but the opposite of me is very attractive to me, right? She's beautiful, blonde, light-skinned girl, and just completely the sexually attractive opposite of me from a world that's opposite of mine. So I'm like, yeah, man, I like this shit. So at the time, when I tell her my age, she tells me she's younger than me. And we had been dating for like a couple months now at that point, right? Like about, let's say, 1 or 2 months into me adding her into my rotation. of chicks, which she doesn't know about at that time, because she didn't. I could tell she wasn't going to be one of the girls that liked that stuff. She literally felt guilty about straight up lying to my fucking face about her age. So we go to like this bar, and like she sits down, and then she shows me her passport, and she's like, "Yo, look, I'm older than you. I'm 40." I was like, "What the fuck?" Bro, the fact that the girl went way out of her way to trick me about her age shows you a lot of things. It exposes so much. It exposes insecurity about the fact that, like, she didn't have a kid she didn't have a kid. She was 40 years old, which means that having a kid wasn't really in the cards for her anymore. But I had conversations with her about that. And she believed that she was more fertile than ever in her 40s, right? Completely delusional, right? So, delusional, deceptive. Clearly, I'm not with her anymore, off the rails type of person, right? And the reason that mattered so much to her is that girl knew that if I knew, she, like, gotta understand, dude. Older women are more experienced than you in dating as a guy, right? So she knew that I was younger than her. She lied to me, tricked me, and then she knew if she told me her true age off rip, that I would lose interest and float away. She knew I was going to go back on my path. She knew I was going to not take her seriously and just go right along my path and be the fuck on out of there and do some other shit, right? So think about that. She said, to keep this dick, I'm going to have to lie to him. These women know what they're doing, right? And, like, even though me and Dantes are going to be bringing chicks on here and kind of exposing to you guys all the time how you talk to them and how you deal with them, right? Women both often simultaneously live in a delusion while, like, understanding reality, kind of accepting reality, but treating reality like something that they don't fuck with. So they kind of push reality to the side, and they prefer their delusions every single time.
Hell yeah. And we know men and women are different. So an old woman, a 30, 40-year-old woman, is the same as an 18-year-old boy. The 40-year-old woman, she's lost all her value by her age. Her age is going up. She can't have kids. Her men want kids, and men want women who don't have experience. By the time she's 40, chances are she has kids and she has a lot of experience, and that's what men don't want. And now on the other hand, an 18-year-old boy or 18-year-old young man, that's not what women want. Women want guys with experience, guys who are established in their job, their career, guys who know how to function in the world, know how to operate in the world. And an 18-year-old boy, he doesn't have that. So as men and women, we're completely different. So an older woman, she's lost her value, just like the young man has no value because he hasn't created anything. It takes men time to create their value, and women get their value up front by getting their beauty and their youth, so they get that up front. So women have their value early on in life, and men have their value later on in life. This is something that's important to understand and distinguish between the two, how different we are, because a lot of guys think that men and women are exactly the same. She wants an older guy, so I should want an older woman, but it's completely different. Everything with dealing, pretty much 99% of things when it comes to women is completely opposite than a man. If a woman wants an older man, then you should want a younger girl. If a woman wants a guy with a lot of experience, you should want a girl with no experience. Everything is opposite. That's why girls, 9 times out of 10, they don't care about a guy's body count, because it just doesn't fucking matter, because we can bust as many nuts as possible. And then as a guy, you should care about her body count, because if she's a hoe, how do you know if you're the father or not? So we're completely opposite. So a young man has no value because he hasn't created anything in the world, and that takes time. And an older woman, she was given her value up front, and by her getting pregnant, by her having experience with other guys, she's lost her value in the eyes of a man.
100%. Now, I'm going to go into the MILF myth. Like why, like what that is, right? How did it get like its relevance? I'm like branching off Dantes' points from earlier, right? So my real exposure to that was like, I think American Pie, and at the time when I was a kid, I wasn't interested in that movie. It didn't mean anything to me, but I think the MILF thing started around like those movies. And MILF is kind of like a category, and this is kind of how it started, right? Back in the day when people were normal and not stupid and not liberal and not like delusional and not like weird all up in their head, and men were just being men and women were just being women, and the dating market made sense, and those fruit pops were still in the closet, which was a great time in life. The MILF, a woman who has had a kid, but it's like the dude is out of the picture, she's completely available, completely single, she's kind of falling in line with a fantasy, so it's pretty much a category that had been created, right? MILF stands for Mother I'd Like to Fuck, right? That's just like, it was like a sex category, right? Like a magazine sex category, later became a pornographic category, it's just like a fantasy, right? And the thing about, in real life, real life, if a woman has no man and she has a kid, she's just completely available and completely vulnerable. And at this point in time, it was normal for dudes to not want the fucking responsibility of some other guy's kid. Who the fuck would want some other guy's kid, right? So it was a stereotype that those women were very easy to get with. You know, she could be your mistress, she could be a smash and dash, she could just be someone that you're really just gonna have sex with, and she's hot, and that's it. It's just physical. It's, you know what I mean? But you're not looking at it like, oh my god, I can't wait to go have sex with her and then take her kid and adopt the kid and then get cucked and have no time for her. And you know, that whole thing really just sucks, man. So that myth, the myth of like today, that it somewhere around that timeline, it also got a little blurry. Things started becoming political, and I think churches here in America started like kind of saying, oh no, yeah, no, it's very good for you to marry that kind of girl too, right? So then people started marrying single moms, and then people started saying like, oh man, you see that guy right there? And there's probably like one dumbass that fucked it up for everybody, right? That guy married her. He stepped up to the plate and he took responsibility. Look at that, man. That man is a hero.
A real man. That's a real man.
That's where the brainwashing started, right? So then it became a echo chamber of fucking retards. And all the fucking retards who are a bunch of imp-ass blue pill motherfuckers who unfortunately run the majority of the thought processes in the main narrative of the world today, because the world is inverted and run by Satan. These motherfuckers started saying, yeah, I should step up to the plate. I should be a real man. Yeah, I'm gonna make her my wife. And that's really where this like MILF fantasy started. And even though that kind of started with maybe people who were the right ages, even with the single mom to pair off with, right? Like maybe those were like, because marriage is something that's harder for younger guys to do. The ethos of this fantasy became bigger and bigger, right? And then younger dudes were scoring, you know, and that's great. That's great. Younger dudes were out here scoring with the older women, and you know, they're young, they're kids, they're having sex with these older girls. It probably feels great. It feels amazing. But where do you fall off? Where do things start getting bad? Things start getting bad when like you are like, you know, 18-year-old and you're fucking some 40-year-old, and your mom is also 40-year-old, and now you're trying to give this 40-year-old the same relationship attention as like you would somebody that's in the right age group for you. That's where things get really fucked up. And I have some other points that I'm gonna make that are concise with that, but go ahead, my guy.
Yeah, bro, you gotta just be aware of how different we are than women. Like that's really what it comes down to. Like, is just start getting in the mindset of knowing that men and women are completely different, and the world's gonna make you feel bad about having certain beliefs or saying certain things as far as your standards go. You know, if you say you only want younger women, you don't want a woman with a past, you don't want a woman with kids, like the world's gonna make you feel bad about this, because they want you to fall into the woman's frame, and they want you to be weak. So anytime you have standards, you're insecure, you're toxic, you're weak, And that's as a man, anytime you have standards, that's what they're going to say. But, you know, when a woman has standards, it's just, what do they say? Like Myron says, it's just a preference. So as a man, you got to understand you're going to be demonized for having these standards, but you have to have them, and you have to know why you are being demonized for them. It's because the world, they want to make you, the government, the propaganda, again, they want to make you soft and weak so you're easier to control. Because they know when you fall under the woman's frame, you are easier to control. So they're going to try to guilt trip you out of these standards. And that's why a lot of guys are running around here saying, I don't care about a girl's past. I want a MILF. I want an older girl. I don't care if she's been a hoe before. I don't care if she has hoe friends. I don't care if she goes on girls trips. I don't care if she posts half naked pictures on Instagram. They're gonna be mad at you for having these standards because they don't want to hold women accountable to any of their bad decisions, and they want you to fall into her frame. So that's why a lot of guys are saying these things, because they're like, well, when I had standards, or when I was thinking about these standards that I had and I never told anyone, I was hearing other guys being demonized for them, or I was giving shit for having these standards. So now I'm more secure by saying, I don't care about her past. Now I feel better. There are men out there who feel good about saying they don't care about a girl's past. They feel more secure, even though that actually makes them more insecure by not speaking on what's bothering them. And their mind's all fucked up by thinking that that's the thing to say to be secure, is by not having any standards and letting your girl do whatever she wants, not setting any boundaries. And yeah, once you set boundaries, they're gonna say he's controlling. So there's all these buzz terms for men when they have standards. So you have to be aware of that, and don't let them guilt trip you out of having standards or having preferences, because they will do that. And the moment you do let them guilt trip you and you stop having standards or boundaries, then that's when they're just going to take advantage of you and not respect you at the end of the day. So they're gonna just beg you, they're gonna just keep demonizing you for being one way. Then the moment you change, they're gonna lose respect for you. So it makes no sense. So as a man, just stay masculine and stay having boundaries, stay having standards, because that's how you're going to get the best out of life.
Yo, Dante's hitting them with them facts, boy. That is what it is. So check this out, right? I don't think I've said my age on the internet before, but y'all look at me. Just figure out what age I am, right? Let's say that I was sitting down right now across the table with a girl from my high school, right? And, you know, high school was a long time ago for me. And it was a long time ago for her. And if I'm sitting across the table from her, and I tell her I am sexually attracted to and only going to give my real relationship, husband and marriage material wife attention to a girl who's 18 to 24, she's immediately going to shame you. She's going to call you a pedo. She's going to say that you are a groomer. She's going to say that you are disgusting. How could you? And this is the most important part of the show, motherfuckers. I am telling you guys to toughen up and let that shit fall off you like water off a duck's back. You cannot give a fuck what this dumb bitch who's old is complaining about. Because what you really need to know is that when she's doing all that, she's jealous of the fact that you command the value to not see that stupid fucking bitch and give your attention to the girl that you actually want. That's what it is, bro. Have you ever gone up to a girl and be like, how dare you want an older, stable, secure man that can take care of you? Like, no, we don't give a fuck what you dumb women want. Like, on the other token, like, the girl is gonna support you to, oh, look at him, he's taking care of the single mom, right? And, like, that's completely cucking you, but she's gonna be like, oh no, how dare you choose the new, fresh, fertile, more youthful, objectively more beautiful than me with higher sexual market value than I currently have. How dare you choose the one that's good for you? It's basically a hater, bro. If you're not making the women angry, then you're not dating correctly as a man. You gotta make these women fucking furious with your fucking strategy, bro. Put your dick in these younger women like a fucking G. Now, I will say, as I've told you guys many fucking times, the group dynamic fixes everything. If you are the kind of guy, subs.com/5star will teach you how to be that kind of guy who can command the value of a group dynamic, that's when you can start like having a little bit more strategy to your dating game. For example, let's say that you were like seriously had like a girl in your group dynamic, right? Now my group dynamic is when the girls know each other. I'm actively currently doing stuff like that very often. Go on my fucking Instagram, ask stories about me, DM people, message people. I'm always putting girls in a group dynamic. It's what the fuck I do, right? Now let's say in like a really good scenario, you had got like a 18-year-old girl pregnant and you're giving her your serious relationship attention, and you got like a 20-year-old girl pregnant and she's in your house and they're both in your house and they're both getting your serious relationship attention, and you've got a 24-year-old pregnant and she's in your house and you're giving her your relationship attention, but you're also dating like a 50-year-old girl and she's hot as fuck and you love being with her and you love smashing that chick, and you bring her into that group dynamic and she's helping the girls raise the kids. That is like the only scenario where it's like, oh shit, giving her attention is adding value to me as the man. These women support me. These women submit to me. These women help me. That woman helps my women. That's like the only time that you can really bring her into the house. But if you're not doing something like that, as we have vehemently been telling you dumb motherfuckers, don't give your serious relationship to the girl who can't even bring you family, who can't bring you kids, who can't add value to your last name. You literally are, bro, imagine this. As a man, if you're not trying to have kids, you're a dumb motherfucker, you're an idiot, you're a piece of shit, and you're ending your legacy for no fucking reason. And if you choose to be a man that doesn't want to perpetuate the value of his last name, you're a dumbass, and you're pairing off with a woman who can't bring you kids. Effectively, you're just two people that paired off to die together. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. We don't fucking support you. Your dating strategy is dumb. Man up and bust some nuts. Your command on the earth is to be fruitful and multiply.
Hell yeah. And women's mating strategy, it's extremely cutthroat in the way that they date men. So you have to be the same way as a man. And if a guy's fucking shoes are dirty, or he's fucking 5'5", or he fucking doesn't have the right hairstyle, or whatever the case is, she's gonna disqualify him right off the bat. Like the moment she sees something that she doesn't like by just a little bit, he's gonna be disqualified. And she's able to do that because they have such an abundance mindset. Women have so many options that they're able to say, I don't fucking like his shoelaces, I'm gonna cut him off, I'm not gonna fuck with him. I'm just gonna ignore him. So as a man, you have to be the same fucking way. Adopt that same abundance mindset when you're dealing with women. And anytime you see something that you don't like, or if she's an older woman or she has a past, have actual standards as a man. Because that's how you're gonna get the best out of a relationship. Because if you don't have any fucking standards, if you let the world shame you or guilt trip you out of your standards, then that's when you're gonna end up as a stepdad who stepped up. And anytime a girl says that you're a real man, that's a real man. Anytime a woman says a real man is, just stop listening, because that is like it's the complete opposite. So if you don't have standards and boundaries, and you don't actually use them in real life in the real world, then you're just gonna get walked all over, and you're just gonna get the leftovers. You're gonna get the guy who's dating the girl who used to be a porn star 5 years ago, or who used to be on OnlyFans. That's what you're gonna get if you don't have standards or boundaries. So if you're a guy out there watching this, and you're the guy that feels bad about having standards, and you kind of now just go about life just letting girls do whatever they want, walk all over you, you actually think in your head that that's making you more attractive, when it's actually doing the complete opposite. It's making you less attractive. It's making you be less respected by the woman, and you're just not gonna get the best out of the relationship. So have actual standards, boundaries, be cutthroat when it comes to dealing with women, because they are. The moment you start to feel bad, or you let up on certain things, and you let her start to get away with stuff, or you're like, you know what, I'll make an exception here, that's the moment you're going to lose the fucking game. Because on the other end, they're playing fucking hardball. They're coming to the gunfight with a fucking AK-47, and you're showing up with a fucking knife, trying to be all nice and fucking and sweet and shit, when no, they're completely cutthroat with it. So you got to be the same way when it comes to dating women.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Like literally, I'll tell you guys what I think is some of the perfect ages to pair off, right? So if you are thinking about things from a traditional sense, nuclear family sense, 1950s is the fucking perfect time to be alive sense, when women weren't trying to fucking vote. The perfect pair off is a woman being the age 18. What's 18 plus 18? 18 plus 18 is 36. A man being 36 years old, marrying a girl who's 18 years old is literally the perfect human pair off. And do the numbers matter exactly on the male's side of this equation? Not that much, right? Like if he's 35, 34, 33, and she's 18, bro, 18 is universally the perfect age to have a girlfriend as a wifey material, right? But like for the girl, her pairing off with an 18-year-old dude is an L for her. That's gonna suck ass, balls, and dick, because the kid, unless he's like, the Prince of Saudi Arabia out there in Dubai type shit, is 9 times out of 10 a guy who can't command any value. He was just born into the world. He's just like any other guy. He's fucking poor. He's got to build his value, right? So if an 18-year-old girl is paired off with an 18-year-old boy, 19-year-old boy, 20-year-old boy, they don't like. See, this is another. We're gonna talk about a whole nother topic right now. America, blah blah blah. Rockefellers, aka the Rothschilds, right? All that stuff. When they started, building the schools in this country, they were building the schools to destroy the nuclear family and build an entire economy where they can have dumbasses created to be factory workers, and to destroy the home. The Rockefellers and the Rothschilds built daycares. To this day, we have a bunch of stupid, dumb motherfuckers spending $3,000 a month on like one kid to go to the daycare. But in having daycares to break down the society and indoctrinate people, which is what happens at daycares, and in schools where they clearly, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that they're trying to turn everybody into a rainbow into the fucking school system right now, right? You know that all the schools are indoctrination systems, from elementary school to middle school to high school to college. And as it pertains to the dynamic of age and dating and relationships, men and women should never go to school together. Let me say that again. Men and women should never be in school together. That is wrong. It is fucked up. It is not right. Men learn in different ways, and women learn in different ways. Women need to be sitting down and knitting and crocheting and speaking with each other and reading those gay fucking books and going off into fairy tale fantasy land and teaching mathematics to each other in a way that's going to be adherent to what they need to do. Men need to be carpenters. Men need to be playing football. Men need to be running around the forest. Men need to be shooting guns. Men need to be wrestling and fighting and punching and kicking with other men. Men need to do shit like a fucking man, bro. And when you don't have that, what happens is you blend the fucking men and the women together, right? So, listen, if there was all-girl schools, virginity between the women can be valued. That is what we don't have in society, and that is why we don't have it. That is, bro, president, day one, if I was president, day one, all fucking public schools eliminated, everyone must be homeschooled. And from that, you'll start seeing communities form. And in forming these communities, we're going to instruct the women to be with the women and the men to be with the men. Men got to go off and hunt and build the world. Men got to be auto mechanics, Shout out to my dog from Michigan, right? Like, out there in Michigan, people are out there. The guys are fucking doing steel work. The girls need to be inside cooking cocoa. So what happens in this dynamic is that if you have all the women together and they're valuing their virginity, the girls... maybe some girls will have sex with each other, but on a balance of probabilities, the girls aren't having sex with each other. You feel me? They're just doing girly things. And the guys can build their fucking value. So by the time that they choose these girls, they're fucking worth something. But what's happening is that people are getting confused about the age dynamic in the public school. I told you all that story to say that. You're getting confused about the age dynamic in the school, and because boyfriends and girlfriends happen in the school dynamic, you got kids dating each other, you got the kids like doing whatever the fuck they're doing in their freaking nasty little world in the public schools. That is causing people to think, oh, well, shouldn't we pair off at the same age? And that is where things start going really, really, really wrong. Because now our sexual dating market value isn't even probably commanding that right in the right ways anymore. What's happening is women are choosing what they're naturally attracted to. And these guys are being overstepped and overlooked. And by the time that a guy sees like, oh, well, like when things are going right, the younger girl's picking an older guy because she's supposed to, because that's what she's attracted to, duh. He doesn't have in his mind any metric of success as to why he should not pick an older woman as who he's supposed to give his main relationship value to, because when he does do that, he's going to end up cucking himself. And I have some examples that I pulled up here, right? So what does that look like, right? Some guys that are blue pilled, but no examples of their examples, or no examples of how to like do things that are right in the world. Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet. Lisa Bonet, if you don't know who that was, she was a kid on the Cosby Show. If you don't know what the Cosby Show is, good. That guy's fucking weird. But she was revered as America's sweetheart. So by the time Jason Momoa becomes an actor and he finds this woman is 12 years fucking older than him. 12 years older than him. Every time he steps onto the red carpet, it looks like he's walking around with his fucking grandma. And like I said, the only way Lisa Bonet could be useful to Jason Momoa is if Lisa Bonet was one of his many chicks. Other than that, there is no hope for that dynamic because he's being cucked. Bro, listen to this. If I stayed with that girl that tricked me about her age, by the time that I'm 40, she's 50. What the fuck I'm going to do with that? Time matters, bro. We're trying to set you up so you start off your relationship right.
Yeah, and you should always date women younger than you. So never be in a relationship with a girl who's older than you. Why is that? Think about it. At your job, the people with the most experience, they're in a leadership role 9 times out of 10. So if you're dating a girl younger than you, a lot of times you'll have more experience in her. The reason why you really don't even want to date a girl the same age as you or older is because girls, they get their experience with dealing with the opposite gender a lot faster than men. So by the time she's 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, she's been on multiple dates. She's had interactions with hundreds, if not thousands of guys, because guys have approached her. So she's more equipped in dealing with the opposite gender than you are at the same age. So if you're an 18-year-old guy talking to an 18-year-old girl, she has had a lot more interactions with guys, whether she's fucked them or not. I don't know, but the point is that the interactions, the experience that she's had with guys is a lot more than what you've had at 18, unless you're just a top tier guy at 18, but most guys aren't. Most guys are just average for the most part. So if you're dating a girl the same age as you, or if she's older than you, she has a lot more experience than you. And whoever has the most experience, just like a job, is going to lead their relationship. And we know women don't want to be in leadership positions. They don't want to lead their man. They want a man that can lead them. So if your girl leads you, like Myron says, she's going to lead you all right to the end of the fucking relationship. So you don't want a girl who's older than you, or really not even the same age if you're older. If you're 18-year-old and you're dating an 18-year-old girl, there's exceptions to that. But a lot of times, only date girls younger than you, because whoever has the most experience in their relationship is the one who's going to be leading the relationship. And that's going to be the most optimum for the relationship to succeed if the man is leading, because he's going to do what's best for both of you guys. Because the moment that she starts to lead, she's going to be like, this guy I can do better than this. He's not a strong leader. He's not decisive. I need to look for someone else. And then at that point, she's going to be like, she's going to start to doubt you, question you. And then that's when she's going to look somewhere else and slowly just start to detach from you if you're not a good leader. So that's why it's best for the man to be in a leadership position, because when a woman is leading, then she's going to lead you all right to the end of the fucking relationship. And we know that doesn't last long at all. So have more experience than your girl. Do not date older women. I don't care how attractive you are to older women, how attractive you are to older women. You can fuck them recreational use only. But if you want to have a successful relationship, have more experience than your girl. Because the moment you start dealing with the girl who has more experience than you, she's going to walk all over you. And also dealing with younger women, they're easier to lead. A lot of times they're more feminine. They fall into that feminine frame, so they just let you lead them. When you're dealing with an older woman, she's going to be more combative, question you, because she's comparing you to so many guys that she's talked to in the past that there's always going to be some kind of friction there a lot of times when you're dealing with a woman with a lot of experience or an older woman. So she's going to be comparing you to those guys in the past. So don't date older women. And also with older women, they're less likely to be attached to you because they're used to having sex with a lot of guys. Or if they're older, they've had sex with a lot of guys, so it's easier for them to detach to sex. If you're dealing with a younger woman, an 18-year-old, maybe a 21-year-old that's not a hoe, she's more likely to still have that bond after you fuck her. She's more likely to be more clingy when you're dealing with a younger woman with less experience. So if you're dealing with a 30, 35-year-old woman and she's been perpetually single, she's been in and out of relationships getting fucked, she's less likely to be attached to you because she's used to getting detached from sex because she's used to being in and out of relationships. So you want a girl with less experience because that's more optimal for the relationship to actually last. Like there's like a stat or a statistic to where it's like girls who have 5 or less or 4 or less partners are more likely to stay in the relationship versus a girl who has more than that. They're more likely to leave. That's because it's less of an emotional attachment to sex at that point because they're so used to being detached from sex because they've had so many partners. That's why if you fuck like a virgin girl, she's more likely to just keep hitting you up, wanting to hang out, wanting to see you. There's more of an attachment there because like there's that bond because she hasn't gotten detached from sex because she hasn't had a lot of sex with different people yet. But you date a 30, 35-year-old girl, the past 10 years, she's probably fucked 20 guys, 15 guys. So you think by you fucking her, putting your dick in her, that she's just going to still have that same attachment? You want your girl to be attached because that's how the relationship is going to last a lot of the times.
Yo, bro, literally, I'm going to read you guys some examples of mix match relationships right here, right now, and you're going to see how our advice is working for you in real life, bro. Nick Jonas, right? So, do you know a single Nick Jonas song? Because as straight dudes, nobody know who the fuck is listening to Nick Jonas. You know what I'm saying, bro? We don't know who the fuck this dude has got going on. So, Nick Jonas, right? I know that Nick Jonas is a part of the Jonas Brothers. Jonas Brothers, right, commands huge value. I know one time he made an appearance at Model Beach Volleyball, which is a place that I like to frequent. Last time I was at Model Beach Volleyball, I got a chance to run into Adam Sosnick from Valuetainment. Yo, Adam Sosnick from Valuetainment, shout out to you, man. And I also, when I was out there, that's a place that I like to go, ran into a woman that would eventually end up lying to me about the fact that she had a boyfriend. These bitches is heinous. But check this out, right? Nick Jonas, Jonas Brothers. All the women in the world fucking love the Jonas Brothers, right? I know that. Everybody knows that. Those dudes can pull crowds of women. He's married to Priyanka Chopra. I know who Priyanka Chopra is. Objectively beautiful, right? She's in like that CIA. She's in a bunch of movies, right? Everyone knows who that girl is. She's 10 years older than him. This dude literally can have all the girls that he wants at his fingertip, and he's married to a girl that's 10 years older than him. That is a fucking L. The next example, Freemason, like Shaq, Ashton Kutcher, and Demi Moore. Freemason Ashton Kutcher, who's friends with Freak Diddler, and Demi Moore, at the time that they were married, have an age gap difference of 15 fucking years, bro. Now, at the time, even to me, that was odd, bro, because Ashton Kutcher, he's young, he's handsome, he's rich, he's got that show Punk'd, he's in all the fucking movies, everybody wants to hang out with Ashton Kutcher, he could command the value to do whatever he wants with any fucking woman that is younger than him that's going to bring more value to his last name, even though he's a Satanist. And Demi Moore is the fucking ex-wife of Bruce Willis from a movie called Lethal Weapon. There was a full-blown production before I was even fucking born. So, like, homeboy is out here pairing off with a woman that's just like 15 years older at the time. When they were walking down the red carpet, she's looking like grandma, and as he gets older, she's looking like grandma. Another one, Aaron Taylor Johnson. If you don't know, that's the guy who played Kick-Ass in the movie Kick-Ass. He was just recently in that movie Craven that flopped. Bro, homeboy is buffed, jacked, ripped. I think he's like Australian, so like foreign. You work that to your advantage when you're dating with women here in America and shit, right? Hollywood star, Hollywood actor. He's married to some bitch 18 years older than him. His sexual market value is here. 18 years older than him, whoever the fuck Sam Taylor Johnson is, I don't know who that is, her relationship value to him is negative. In the fucking bottom of the ringer, bro. Most famous, you probably heard about this one from Candace Owens, right? Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte Macron. If you don't know, go watch Candace Owens' channel, and she'll talk about Emmanuel Macron, who is the president of France, married to Brigitte Macron, 25 years older than him, right? And is also suspected to be a transvestite that is his father. That shit is fucking insane. That is a topic for a whole other day. Hopefully we never even have to go there. 25-year age difference is a fucking L. Zac Efron has older partners, it says. And then this one is going to hit home, bro. Hugh Jackman is married to a woman named Deborah Lee Furness. Hugh Jackman is the dude who plays Wolverine. The only motherfucking dude to ever play Wolverine, except for Henry Cavill, also the guy who played Superman that one time in the Deadpool movie, has been playing Wolverine since the fucking 2000s. This dude has been ripped, he's been jacked, he's been the fucking poster boy in the face of that character that the whole fucking world loves for many, 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 many years, and he's married to a woman 13 years older than him? Wolverine is being cucked? Australian Hugh Jackman, the thunder cunt from down under cunt, is being fucking cucked? And he could have any girl that he wants? What is this, bro? This is a fucking conspiracy, bruv.
This is insane. And you need to look at women like cars. I'll give you an example.
I'm not a car, Dantes. I'm not a car. I'm a woman. I'm not a vehicle.
Damn. As a man, this is how you need to look at it. This is going to be what's best for you. The older the woman, the more used the car has been. The more test-driven she's been, the more it's been returned and put back on the lot. The younger the woman, the newer the car is. The less miles she has, the less she's been test-driven. So ask yourself, if you're a guy out there saying, I want a MILF, I don't care about a girl's age as long as we have a connection, do you want that older car that's been used and abused, who motherfuckers that did donuts in it, have fucking rented it and put it back, motherfuckers might have got into an accident and just got it fixed up at the shop? Do you want that, or do you want a fucking younger woman, which is a newer car, she's fresh 18, fresh off the lot, she barely has any miles.
New car smell.
A new car smell. A lot of the times, and yeah, 18-year-old could still be a hoe, but again, you're increasing your chances of finding one that's not a hoe when you're dating younger women. So ask yourself, do you want a newer car with no miles on it, or barely a couple miles, or do you want a MILF, because you're obsessed with MILFs, you are obsessed with older women, do you want a car that's been used and abused? So that's the way that you got to look at it, and you got to really realize that men and women, we're completely different. We have completely different mating strategies. You're going to hear a woman say, I don't date younger men, I only date older. I want a guy that's older than me. That's because our mating strategies are completely different. So it's important to understand the difference between the two, because that way you don't fall into the frame of thinking, I want whatever a woman wants, because she's going to say, I want an older man. That's because women look for things that are different. I mean, they want a man who's established, strong man, who's been through experiences, who's made it through hard times, so that he can be a good leader to her. We want the opposite. So we know adversity affects women different than it does with men. You don't want a girl who's gone through adversity and gone through a lot of shit, because those are masculine traits. That's going to make her more masculine. So again, you want a girl who's younger, fresh off the lot. Don't fall into this frame that the government propaganda is going to tell you a real man is one who steps up and take care of another man's child, taking care of that single mom. A real man is a man who doesn't have standards, who likes older women, who doesn't care if she has a past, because he's so secure that he'll accept anything. That's what the propaganda is going to tell you, to make you feel bad about having standards. But you have to understand, all that is to make you weak and to fall into the feminine frame and make you a soft man. And I keep harping on this because that's what it is. You have to realize it. So when you're having these conversations with people, or you're having a conversation with the girl and she's trying to make you feel bad for having standards and having boundaries, you have to know in your head, okay, I'm not going to fall into this, because She wants me to fall in her frame because that gives her an advantage, so she can have the leverage in the relationship. So you got to know these things, because people are gonna have their ideas that they throw at you, try to guilt trip you out of this. So you have to know the underlying factor on why you have your beliefs that you have, so you don't change them. You have to know the source of where it's coming from, and that underlying belief of where your ideas are coming from. Because if you're kind of just have this innate feeling of biologically of you having these standards and not wanting a girl who's a hoe, and you don't really know where it's coming from, you just know that you were just made this way, a lot of people are just going to keep testing you and keep testing. Then you're going to say, well, maybe they're right, because I don't really know where my beliefs are coming from. I kind of just naturally feel this way, but you don't have any hard evidence or nothing to really back it up other than that feeling that you have, which the feeling that you have is a right feeling, but due to all the propaganda that we're being told, how men are trying to be made weak, be made submissive, be made to follow the women, you got to know these things on where your feeling is coming from. And so that way you don't change your ideas once you start to get challenged, because the world's going to throw all this shit at you to make you feel bad about these beliefs and these standards. So you got to know where it's coming from, so you do not change your belief and you stand 10 toes down on your ideas and on your thoughts, on your boundaries, on your standards.
That is a fucking Dom DeMarco in the building. And speaking of Dom DeMarco, Don, I see you in the chat. Yo, shout out to Don. He said good shit. Don, if you don't know, he's from the actual 5-Star Brotherhood. He's been out here. He's been a part of the team. And the only way to be a part of the 5-Star Brotherhood is subs.com/5star. You'll never be a part of that if you're not in there. Shout out to the new subscribers that we have too, by the way. We see you guys subscribing, and me and Dantes, we're doing everything that we can to bring you guys as much value, strengthen everything that we can, make you hardcore to the core with your dating strategy. And I'm doing a lot of things to help you women too, man. You girls got to get in here and subscribe. We just had one of our brothers come over here and start getting his business organized right here in this studio, because we're doing everything that we can to be supportive, valuable, useful brothers and build you up in your dating profile and your career. And if you guys want to see some of that, you can go, it's on my story right now at Life of Chris Livestream. You'll see those same clips at the Watch 5-Star Clips Instagram. So go to that. You'll see it on the shorts and our shorts channel. Stay tuned to that shorts channel. We may be updating it. We may be switching it, but make sure that you're subscribed to that too. And we are fucking kicking ass out here, man. I'm glad to see you in the chat, Don. We always want to show love to our brothers. And with the women, right? With the women that we were just talking about. Look, man, I'm not saying to be rude to these women at all. And I am not saying to be disrespectful to these women at all. Never do those things. I am telling you to still treat them like a gentleman. Still treat them like you're a 5-star gentleman all the way thoroughly through. Just understand that you have to categorize these women in different areas of the attention that you can give them. And these older women, when I'm doing research for the show, bro, literally when I'm doing research for the show, sometimes I'm coming across influencers that are like giving out this info, like giving out info that I'm doing, like that I need for the research, and they're older women, bro, and they are fucking hot. These older women are getting hot and sexy, but you guys got to understand, they are not for your wifey material status at all. They're just not in that picture. They're outside of that equation, and they're going to have to do a lot to command the value to be one of your many girls.
Yes, yeah. You're older women, recreational use only. You're fucking... Imagine you're fucking going to the airport. You want to go to the airport with the girl with fucking 50 bags, or you want to go with the girl to the airport with just a fucking backpack or a duffel bag? The older bitch, the older woman has fucking... She's going to the airport. You guys are going on the trip. She's bringing 50, 75 bags with her. All that fucking baggage, a.k.a. her fucking past. Or you could just take a younger girl who's coming with just a fucking backpack, maybe like a duffel bag or something. What's going to be more sustainable for you to get to, or most the best way for you guys to get to your destination? It's going to be the one with the less baggage. So when you're dealing with an older woman, she's going to bring a lot of fucking baggage that you're going to have to take on, and it's just going to be a headache down the road. It's like, could you do it? It's like, possibly you can, but just why? You're playing the game on fucking hard mode when you don't even have to. Only time life should really be hard for you, and you accept that it's hard for you, is when you're in your career trying to make more money and better your life. That's where it should be hard. When you're dealing with your woman, that should be an easy relationship, something that's just simple. You guys go about life the same way, and it all makes sense. So why date an older woman or a woman with a lot of experience, a woman with a past, when it's just going to be harder for you? As a man, you already have a lot of other shit to deal with, whether it's work, life throwing shit at you, life trying to bring you down, people trying to bring you down. Especially if you're a man that's on his purpose, on his path, trying to get better. The world's going to keep trying to test you, bring you down, set you back. So all that shit is already hard. So why make your life harder with dealing with a hoe or a girl with the past, or a girl who's just not good for you? Make your life easy in that aspect. The hard shit that you deal with, that's going to be work in your career, and leave that shit. Handle that shit. So when it comes to women, make a good decision with being able to filter out what women are worth being taken serious and what women are not.
Damn right. If you're dating a older woman in her 60s and you're like in your 30s, or you're in your 20s, you're dating a girl in her 50s, it's embarrassing. But if you're in your 30s and you're dating a girl who's like 18 and she's 18 to 20s kind of thing, they're going to shame you for it. And when they're shaming you, you tell them to fuck off, my guy. We've done a lot. Make sure that you guys are toughening the fuck up over here at 5-Star. We don't want no pussies in this motherfucking show.
Hell no, 1,000%. And yeah, man, we gave y'all some fucking heat today, some fire. We've been dropping some fucking good shit. So we're going to keep adding value, bringing it to you live. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. 5-Star live stream on all platforms. Heidemann_Tez on all platforms. I'm on Instagram, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. Just follow me. My God, Chris.
Big facts, homie, man. Make sure you follow 5-Star. We are doing everything we can to get you guys massive amounts of value. Make sure you get in the subs platform. We're going to have so much value for you guys in there. It's going to be in freaking sanity. But make sure that you're subscribed. Share this video with a friend, at least 5 friends. We're doing everything we can to make sure that we bring you maximum status in the value system that we got in the exchange for you guys over here at 5-Star. You need to connect with us, bro. We building the community. Peace out, y'all.